Hello YouTube! I'm coming at you with another video about another microphone that I use in my home studio. So here we go. Today I wanted to tell you about my experiences with the ElectroVoice RE20. It is a classic dynamic microphone that has only one switch on it. A high-pass filter switch. So let's start at the beginning. It's a classic microphone that's been used in the radio industry for many years, and with good reason. I really do enjoy it as a voiceover mic. If I am recording only voice, it is beautiful. In fact, as far as any of the microphones that I have, if I really want to get a lot of bass, this is the microphone to use. I can't get more bass out of any of the other microphones that I have. It also has a very particular feature which they call variable D, which basically means that from what I understand, these gratings on the side are designed in order to reduce the bass resonance of the mic. Believe it or not, it has tons of bass, but it's been reduced a bit, meaning that the way in which the proximity effect, as it's called, works as you get closer to the mic is not like a usual cardioid mic, meaning that you can get fairly up on the mic and you'll get less bass than you would think compared to having the mic further away. They basically tried to minimize the proximity effect of the mic, which is another way of saying they tried to keep the bass response of the mic fairly constant, whether it was close to the source or further from the source. Which has its advantages, obviously. It does make a great voiceover mic. On the other hand, if you're a singer and you're used to working the mic and using the proximity effect to your advantage, it feels a little strange. So, as I said in the beginning, it's a great voiceover mic. I have a Shure SM7B, and when I do just voice work, I definitely prefer the RE20. However, now I'll move on to vocal work. Studio vocal work in my home studio. When I record vocals, I haven't been so happy with the RE20. Usually it gives me more bass than I need, and as I just said before, it feels a little funny when you're working the mic. If you're used to working cardioid mics, leaning back for louder parts and moving in closer for softer, quieter parts, the response of the RE20 is just a little weird. But it is great if you just find your spot that works well for your source and you stick it there. Even so I'm not so hot on it for singing, but I love it for voice work. Moving on to instruments, it's not my favorite for most sources. It does, once again, feel a little funny on electric guitar. It has a very particular sound. Somehow the response is a bit different, meaning the way that the source hits the microphone is not what you're used to hearing for an electric guitar. It's not like an SM57, because again, the cardioid pattern has been played with a bit. So I haven't really liked it on electric guitars. I haven't liked it really at all on acoustic guitar either. I tend to go with an SM57 on electric guitars, electric guitar amps, and for acoustic guitars I tend to prefer my Beyerdynamic MC930 small diaphragm condenser mic. But one source that I use in the music that I produce that really shines is bass cab. If I had to, I would feel comfortable producing bass just miking the amp with an RE20. I still do enjoy capturing a DI signal in parallel and mixing that in a little bit to add even more bass, especially since my bass amp is only a 12-inch speaker, and so just naturally out of the amp itself I'm not getting quite as much of the lowest octave of the bass as I would like. But the RE20 reproduces bass guitar cabs. I've also seen, I don't have an acoustic stand-up bass personally, but I have seen it used also in that application, and it's quite remarkable microphone in that case. So I guess I'll wrap up the video there, just saying that if you're looking for a great mic to mic bass guitar, and you just want to mic your bass amp, you're not looking for a DI, you don't like the sound of DI, the RE20 is amazing. If you want a little bit of a, not as quite as much of a modern sound, because modern music tends to have a bit more bass in it, but if you're willing to go with a sound that's not quite as modern, and you just want to simply hear the sound of your bass amp, definitely get an RE20 if you can afford it. And if you're doing voiceover work, I definitely highly recommend the ElectroVoice RE20 for that as well. It's my favorite mic for both of those applications. So there you have it. Those are my experiences with the ElectroVoice RE20 microphone. Cheers.